This is one of the photos that I captured in Japan with my Fujifilm X100VI. On this trip, I explored Osaka, a vibrant city known for its street food, neon-lit districts, and friendly locals, along with nearby spots like Nara and Kobe. I challenged myself to document the journey using only this camera, capturing both photo and video, while practicing composition and working to improve my photography skills. From the thrills of Universal Studios Japan to deer roaming freely in Nara and the laid-back charm of Kobe, there's a lot to capture. So let's get into it. Japan is one of my dream places to go to, and I had a chance to go with my brother. This is the first photo that I took in this trip. I like it because it's like the feeling of starting off in a journey by exiting the plane. The first train photo that I took. I love the lines leading to somewhere, probably a sign of the exciting things that we're gonna experience in this trip. The train stopped by in a station and I immediately saw this person sitting on a bench. I took the opportunity to take a photo while the train is still not in motion. And overall, I like the photo because of the rule of thirds it's showing. Initially, I planned to take a photo outside the train, but I got this reflection one instead. But I still like it. My brother went to explore the train and came back to tell me that there's an interesting area ahead. So I went there and this photo is what he meant. While at the station, we were figuring out where to go, and as first-timers, it's quite overwhelming at first navigating the train station. I immediately took a photo while walking and following my brother. Still like the photo, it's like describing how chaotic as first-timers in Japan. I love that the line in the center separates the photo. I took this photo because I just love that everybody's minding their own business. At this point of time, we are already tired, but that didn't stop me from taking photos along the way. We finally arrived in our hostel and this is their lobby. We immediately unpack and fix our things to prepare for tomorrow's activity. On the next day, we woke up early so that we will arrive in the Universal Studios with fewer waiting time. I like the contrast of the post box here. I believe that everything you see here in Japan is picture-worthy. First 7-Eleven experience in Japan. I really like the different colors of the packaging here. They really pop out in this image. Going at train stations early in the morning looks kinda this. A few people and they're just taking their naps while waiting on the next train. We finally arrived at our destination. Actually, this is my first Universal Studio experience. and I was so excited that time. What's exciting in this Universal Studio is the Super Nintendo world. The colors were so vibrant, and it's a crime not taking photos and clips at this point. This is the line going for the Donkey Kong ride, which we didn't pursue because the line was too long and it didn't even start operating yet because we were so early. Also, by looking at the reviews online, they say it is an okay ride, so I just took a photo and just move on.
Another one, peaches cake, Dotonbori.
At this point, we're already hungry because we didn't have breakfast yet. So we went to this restaurant in the Super Nintendo world to try out their dishes. The food was actually tasty and it was worth the wait. This ride is called the Flying Dinosaur, and it's the most extreme ride that I've tried in my life yet. Finally, we arrive here at the Harry Potter section where we are first greeted by the place called Hogsmeade. This right here is actually a tasty beer, or what they call butter beer. I'm not really sure if it's a beer though. Now the famous Hogwarts. I've tried different film simulations on this view alone, taking my time as a Potterhead. I like this image because it feels like I'm in the US. Well, it looks like it's portraying the old US. And ending this day of the photo I took of the Universal Globe. Before we jump back into the video, I'd like to thank today's sponsor, The Answer, a tool I've been personally using to give my videos and photos that beautiful, film-like look. I used to manually add grain, halation, and bloom, and while that worked, it took a lot of time. With The Answer, all of that's built in, so getting that cinematic feel is way faster and easier. Plus, it comes with a whole library of film simulations to choose from, and I'm honestly loving the results. They also have an iOS version for photos, with deep customization of film emulations, grain texture, and halation, so I can maintain my workflow standards even when I'm mobile. If you want to try it out, use my code AlexTheAnswer for 10% off. I will also leave a link to their website in the description. And shout out to The Answer for sponsoring this video. Thank you so much. On this day, we're gonna go to Nara and visit the shrines and meet some deers. This is really the advantage of going to train stations early in the morning. No people, just the hallway. I've taken a couple of shots with different film simulations and I like that each image has its own feeling. When the train operator positioned himself on the right side of the window, I immediately took a photo and I like the composition. It looks very neat. We finally arrive at Nara. Here's the first photo that I took outside the station, which really caught my attention when I looked back and found the symmetry of the entrance, which is really pleasing to the eyes. The first photo that I got with a deer in it, and at this point I know for sure there will be a lot of photos that has a deer in it. Here's a calm, strange moment. A deer grazing right in the middle of a modern building. So the stairs frame the shot, and the empty space makes it feel quiet and peaceful. It's a cool mix of nature and man-made stuff all in one frame. In this image, I like it like the deer seems like they own the place, and the clean lines and empty space makes the moment feel calm and almost surreal. This photo is framed by trees. It uses leading lines so that it guides us straight to that person. I really like this photo here because the deers were perfectly spaced, framed naturally by the trunks and branches. It feels like everything fell into place. Moments like this, you don't rush, you just compose and just enjoy the moment. I came across this path lined with cherry blossoms, and the light was just right. The curve in the path gave the frame a natural flow. I was lining up the shot for the building when this deer just walked into the frame, right across the crosswalk. Everything lined up, the symmetry, the traffic lights. It's those unexpected moments that make street photography feel alive, even if there's no people crossing the street. I spotted this deer just under the tree, perfectly framed by the petals and the curve of the path. The mix of nature and quiet street life, it's the kind of scene you don't plan, but you recognize it when it's right in front of you. I was waiting for a clean shot of the Torii Gate when this guy walked by. Perfect timing. So the contrast of modern life crossing paths with tradition always catches my eye. So it's framed by the cherry blossoms here, and the scene felt like a quiet blend of movement and stillness. Just one frame, but a whole story. I was quite scared in touching the deers because I've heard like some of them bite you, but I think you just need to be careful in touching them and make sure you don't have other food inside on your bag or something. When I saw the torii across the water, I knew I had to frame it with the reflection. The trees were just starting to turn and the whole scene felt soft, almost like a painting. So I kept the composition centered to let the symmetry do the work. So it's nothing fancy, just stillness and balance. line up this shot head on to let the symmetry speak for itself. The scale of the temple is incredible. It fills the frame with quiet power. The light was clean, the shadow was soft, and the structure just stood there, very timeless. Sometimes all you have to do is respect the lines and let the architecture do the talking. I shot this through the branch on purpose, to let the foreground blur wrap the scene in its softness. Sometimes framing isn't about what's sharp, it's about what you feel. I framed this shot here to let the colors clash. Deep pink on one side and soft pastel on the other. It's all about contrast here, but it still feels balanced. Sometimes nature composes better than we do. We just have to catch it. This photo right here is an example of layers of daily life framed by a quiet slope in the background. The mix of old architecture, open space, and distant hills give it a calm, balanced feel. Nothing dramatic here, just good light, soft colors, and a street that tells its own story if you let it. At this point, we already finished our itinerary here in Nara, and so we decided to go back to Osaka and continue our day tour there. We were walking on the street going to Dotonbori, and I found this neat looking store, and funny thing, I also caught the man mid-turn, and it actually looks interesting. This is Dotonbori, where light, color, and chaos compete on every surface. I frame it wide to tell the story. There is a good balance in the layers, foreground to background, water to skyline. At this point, we went to eat some snacks before ending the day. In this day, we went to different places in Osaka, starting with Osaka Castle. I noticed here in Japan that their trees has different colors and shades, which makes it so vibrant and so beautiful to watch. I saw these stairs and knew I wanted to capture the feeling of the climb. I stood back and framed it right in the center to show the full height, and then waited for someone to walk up. The trees arching overhead made it feel peaceful, almost like a tunnel, and the sunlight, just soft enough, lit up the steps with this warm glow. It's a quiet moment, one person, one path, and a little bit of light showing the way forward. I framed the castle through the gate, centered and symmetrical. That gave it a sense of calm and balance, almost like a postcard. The structure itself feels powerful, but by keeping some distance, I let the gate do the talking too, and it sets the stage. I wanted to show the castle in its setting, peaceful, surrounded by trees and that calm little pond. Looking at it now, I think I could have waited a moment longer, maybe for a ripple in the water or someone walking through to add a bit of life. But overall, I like the stillness here. It feels like the kind of place where time slows down a little. In this photo right here, something about the way the light poured through the trees just pulled me in. The sun was low, flaring through blossoms and leaves, casting these long soft shadows. I let the railing lead the eye down into the scene where a single person walks through that golden wash of light. What I like here is the mood, quiet, dreamy, like something out of a memory. The petals scattered on the ground also helps with that too. I really like this photo here. The paper strands cover the face while the eyes are focused in the photo. We went to Abeno Haruka's, which was the tallest building in Japan from 2014 to 2023. I took a photo and I really enjoyed the cityscape of Japan. This is the famous Umeda Sky building. I tilted my head back and framed the impossible geometry shown above. This is the last photo that I took on this day. I really like the glow on the signage and also on the tower as well. On this day, it's gonna be a quick tour in Kobe. I thought I perfectly framed the person on the center, but I got this photo instead. I still like it though. The architecture is really visible on this picture and I just want to add a bit of light by framing the person on the center. But this is what I got. I went under on this tower and I really like the spirals showing on this photo. It's like a rhythm. I really love this photo here. I didn't want to shoot the tower alone, but I wanted to frame a feeling. So this cherry blossoms here serves as the frame and the focus here is the tower. Overall, I just really love this photo. It's obviously stunning. This was actually my first trip to Japan, and it was a mix of exploring new places and trying not to mess up my camera settings along the way. I'm still figuring things out, learning how to compose better shots and improve as a photographer, one photo at a time. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to give it a like, and if you want to see more, maybe consider subscribing. Next up, we're heading to Kyoto, so stay tuned for that. And hey, thanks for watching. Really means a lot.